quiet time before we start. This is our Wednesday night channeling, number 202. Let's see now. No? 202. That's right. Okay. So let's close our eyes and relax our body. Check your body over to see if it's relaxed. The reason for this is that the life force can flow through your mind when it's more at peace and your body is relaxed. Your mind and your body are interlocked together. And so if you're peace in your mind, then your body can be relaxed. And let us send divine love into this room and into the channeling, into all the invisibles that are with us tonight, those higher beings that have come to help us bring the class, but all of those who are in the balcony that have come to sit with us to learn as we're learning, and to all others in the whole of life who would like to have something like this. Let us think of peace. Peace for ourselves, peace for the planet, and everyone connected with it. Let us send God's love to help bring about a peaceful planet with peaceful entities on it, and all other planets like it in the whole of life. See the light, circle of light, going up, making contact with those higher dimensions of divine light and love, and feel that click as the contact is made, and everything is one with all that is. We are one with all life. Thank you, Father.
Don, will you connect this? I lost my earphone.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
Take it with them.
I thought it was that place, but I was afraid to tackle it.
You might want to sit in this chair. I'm going to try it out.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Well, I have to say something before you can hear it.
Yeah.
Do you hear it?
The button.
Well, let's make contact first, and you can adjust it. Good evening, my dear ones. This is Gadon, coming to you from these realms of love and light. It is indeed a pleasure to be with you, and all your friends, not all of them, of course, but a lot of them are here with you tonight. Many, many sit in on these circles of light all around your planet, and many are very avid in coming when the higher beings from the higher dimensions come to talk. They have the privilege of sitting in on this class and many other classes, because when they want to be somewhere, they just think of that place and they're there. So they get the truth from many points of view. The channel made a mistake tonight, so let's start again because there's some writing that was written that should be read. Oh. I had some distractions before you guys came tonight, so I'm halfway here. I didn't read the writings, did I? No. Okay. Our title tonight is called Rhythm. As you move through this incarnation, you either move with the rhythm of life or against it. It is much easier for you, excuse me, in the short run or the long run to move with the rhythm of life eternal. In your physical world, you pick up rhythms that are necessary for your physical being. As you grow to understand the spiritual laws of life eternal, you understand the great value of tuning in to the rhythm of life as it truly is. Love, divine love, is the key to all things. Learning to love yourself is the way to begin. It is imperative that you love yourself. How can you love others and life as a whole if you do not love yourself? Let love divine be your key to adjust your physical, mental, and spiritual self to the rhythm of life. To learn to love divine, you first learn what God's love truly is. Very few on your plane know God's love. His love, when incorporated into your thoughts, words, and deeds, puts you on a level above and beyond the physical plane with all its chaos, giving you the insight to see and know the truth, thus guiding you through your so-called time on earth with the eternal rhythm. You picked that up tonight. You got that book, The Greatest Thing in the World by Henry Drummond, is a treatise on divine love. And you wanted to be sure. Come in. No, not too many. We've got room for a few more. This was, I knew it was going to be busy, I guess, on the unconscious level. So this came yesterday, the writing. And so that happens often when I know that I'm going to have interruptions at the last minute, or I had to get my light fixed. You notice we have a light in there now. And so it comes the day before. Everything, the rhythm, I guess, is that's part of it. Our class is on rhythm tonight, eternal rhythm. Can you hear all right?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Now, we'll try it again. Good evening, my dear ones. This is Elva coming to you from these beautiful realms of love and light. Our dear one, Kadan, has already opened the door and set the scene. And I tell you, he is a blessed one, for he goes about the work that he does with no thought of himself, but just service. And he is your doorkeeper for this group. Send love to him often and all others like him. Remember to send God's love to all the invisibles who are around you through the day but also all the invisibles are entities who are working from higher realms to those on lower dimensions. For there are many, many planets like yours in the universe, very similar to yours, who are growing into a higher understanding. And I tell you, you may not know the value and the importance of the work that is done from this side of the veil, for most do not see it and hear it or understand it. But we do have a council meeting for those who come regularly and those who drop in now and then. And you are discussed, my dear ones. You are so precious and dear to us, for you are trying. You are moving upward, where the larger masses on your planet are not making the effort to enlarge their spiritual understanding. Send them love often, and remember that as God's love goes through you, it automatically helps you. So you are doing a double service. Our title tonight on rhythm is a very important one that we have not spoken to you about for some time, but it is important. In one of Donald's classes, he starts off order, harmony, rhythm, and balance. This is substance of life, that is what life is made of. Of course, everything is made of God's love, but in your language and in another sense, these are important things to tune you in to the higher dimensions above and beyond the physical plane. When you have order in your life, like doing your grow work at home at a certain time and have your home in an orderly way and without running to and fro, distracted by all the things of the physical, then you can bring harmony into your consciousness, into your thoughts, and into your feelings, and into your life around you. And this all brings about rhythm. The universe has a rhythm, and all of life has a certain rhythm. And as you grow into greater understanding, as you move into changing your thinking patterns, you will be able to tune in more and more to this rhythm. You are already tuning into some of it, but you can improve on this. Now, why do you lose your eternal rhythm, the rhythm of the universe, the rhythm of life? It is when you get upset or think negative thoughts, or you allow the world to come in on you. You allow something to distract you from the real truth of life. You in this room are serious students, and this is such a valuable thing, much more than you can realize from your level. It is so important to have as many serious students as you are, who send God's love, who are reaching for greater understanding and are growing in consciousness to a higher level. As you do this, I have said to you many times, you know not the power that you hold within you, but you see, as you study, as you grow, as you do the things that you do for your spiritual understanding, you raise your consciousness. And it is true that when one of you raises your consciousness and your spiritual understanding a little bit, you pull the whole of life up just a little bit. This may be hard for you to understand, but you see, remember that there is just one life in all of life, and you are that one life. We are not separated. We are one with God at all times, whether we know it or not, whether we think about it or not. No, and all are one with God, no matter what they appear to be doing or what role they're playing on your play. And when one of you reaches a greater understanding, it goes out to all of life. It goes out, my dear ones, and it may be just a little bit to each one, but sometimes there are many who are on the fence, you might say, and they're ready to go one way or the other, and all they need is that little bit of light that reaches them, divine light and love, through your growth, to help them to make the choice to move higher in consciousness, to take action, to do something about their lives, to help themselves and reach out to find the help that they need. You would be amazed if you could see the network of entities from this side of the veil that are working with all of you, no matter what your role is on this plane. It doesn't matter whether it's a dictator or the one who is close to being a master. It doesn't matter, because you all are God's children, and you all are one, and you all are loved dearly, no matter what you appear to be doing. So, when you realize this, that as you grow, you help the whole of life, not just on your planet, not just in your galaxy, but the whole of life in the whole universe. As we move through this incarnation, as you learn to change your negative thoughts to positive thoughts, as you learn to saturate yourself with God's love and understand what God's love truly is, then do you know how to think, how to feel, and the things that will enhance your spiritual growth. I tell you, there's nothing more important. The things on this physical plane are just a play on a stage. And I know that I've told you this many times, but it's so easy to forget when you get caught up in the play to identify with just the physical and forget that you are a spiritual being that is one with all life. So you need to be reminded. And I tell you, my dear ones, all of us, most all of us, I should say, who come to speak with you have gone through the same experiences that you have gone through. We know where you are, and that it is not easy to hold your head above the waters of this negative world, so to speak. It is easy to let yourself go with the negative flow and the rhythm of negativity instead of the rhythm of love. But you are doing well, and you are doing better all the time. The ones in this room know the truth, all of you, and these are the ones that we give as much to as you can accept, as you can swallow. I'm looking for the right word in your language for you to understand. We never push anything upon you, but when you reach for help and you're studying and you want to know this and you want to know that, then you open the door for us to bring God's light and love, and we gently put it into your aura. We gently nudge you in the right direction, but it is still your free will to accept it or not to accept it. And we are patient. This is one of the greatest things that we have to have in working with your planet. For there are many who want the truth. They want to have the understanding, but they are not willing to apply themselves to the extent that they need to do to bring it about, to raise their consciousness, to move into the light of understanding. You in this room are doing this, and I tell you, every time you send God's love, every time you work with your lessons, every time you read a good book that is telling you the truth, you are moving higher, and you are bringing to you more light of understanding. Now, let us talk about another subject that is just as serious, and that is learning to know what God's love truly is. When you speak of love on your physical plane and your movies and advertising and all other things, 99 9/10% of the time it is of physical man and woman love, which is a part of divine love, but a very small part of divine love. For it in most individuals' consciousness is confusing because they want the Cinderella story. They want to have everything perfect in an imperfect world, in a sense. Your world is as it is because you have created it so, and for the most part, my dear ones, it is negative. And so you are conditioned in a negative way. You are moving towards that time when you will be able to understand each other's thoughts, each other's feelings, and your communication will increase to the level where there is no conflict, because that is really one of the largest things that brings conflict between individuals is the lack of real communication. Of course, this brings about fear because you do not understand how the other thinks, how they feel, what they're trying to communicate to you, or what you're trying to communicate to them. But when you use God's love and give everyone freedom to be as they want to be, as they are conditioned at the moment, when you give them that freedom, my dear ones, in love, divine love, then you are free of your negative thoughts about them, and at least you have that one side that has a greater understanding, that is not stirring the pot of negativity to bring about troubles and problems, as you call them. You who know the truth have a great opportunity to pass this on to the whole planet and the whole universe where it is needed. You know not how much power you hold within your consciousness when you are moving to a higher level of consciousness. Because, as I said again, we're all connected. And when you think these beautiful thoughts, that goes out into the ethers, and it does have an influence on those who are open. They still have their free will, but there are many, my dear ones, especially at this time, on the brink of your new age. I should not say brink, but in your new age, there are many who are changing over, gradually turning loose of the erroneous thoughts, of the fear thoughts, and they are ready to find something that they can depend on. They're ready to start building that strong, solid foundation that they can stand on, and that comes back to understanding. And that comes back to understanding divine love. My dear ones, learn to love yourself. Do away with that conditioning that you had in your childhood or many other lifetimes that you are not supposed to love yourself. Many of your churches teach you that this is sacrilegious. This is not true, because you are God. You are life. And when you think ill of yourself, you think ill of God. You think ill of life and all others. You begin by learning to love yourself and accept yourself where you are. God does not judge you. You are the only one who judges you. If anyone else does, that's their problem. Remember this, my dear ones, and judge righteous judgment. Judge not by appearances. And this applies to you as an individual. You think to yourself, well, I'm not doing so good today. I've gotten upset. I've got this and happened and that. That's appearances. That is the outer appearances. And when you stop to think, judge not by appearances, but judge righteous judgment. And remember that you are a child of God that has all that God is and has when you accept it, as you are able to accept it. From your point of view, when you allow the world's illusionary concepts to come in upon you, then you become confused. And it is difficult for you to love yourself. It is difficult for you to remember that everyone is doing the best they can, and that includes you. But you can do it through God's love, because God's love is all-powerful and all-wise. Often through the day, send God's love to yourself, and think not that you are selfish, because this is where you begin. When you understand that you should love every part of yourself, even your physical body, no matter what shape it's in, no matter what dis-ease or whatever you have, that is where you are. Accept where you are, my dear ones. Accept it in love. When the master teacher said, resist not evil, but overcome evil with good, this is one of the things that he meant, is to not rile against yourself, not rile against what other people are doing, but be at peace, love yourself. Then it is much easier to love others and to love life as a whole. When you judge by appearances this planet and this world that you live in, you would be unhappy all the time, because your world seems to be in a chaotic situation. And I say seems to be, helping you to realize and understand that your world is as it is because you and everyone else connected with this planet has created it as it is. And so you are liable for it, in a sense, speaking in your physical laws. You are responsible because you've done many things in other lifetimes that is coming to fruition at this time. This is a time of enlightenment. This is a time when all things are coming to the surface and nothing is being hidden. There are still some things being hidden, but they won't be hidden for long. And as you see your politicians and those in higher places being caught because the light is getting brighter and they cannot get away with the hidden things because it is shown. The light of God is getting brighter every day on your planet and raising the vibrations of your planet. Within yourself, try not to cover up those things that you think is bad, bad, bad from the past. You need not broadcast them to other people, but you need to settle it within yourself. You need to accept what has happened in the past and realize that the past is past, and it is not important what happened in the past, but it's very important how you think of it today. Because when you feel guilty about this or that or something from your past, you carry it right into the next day, and it stays with you. But when you can say, God, I release this into your keeping, I give up. It has happened. I forgive myself and all others involved, and I turn loose of any thoughts or feelings about it. And I know that you know what to do with it. And I feel good about myself. I love myself today, this moment, because I know the past is gone. It does not exist in the present moment. Only as I bring it forth in my memory. Try to remember this, my dear ones. Your past does not exist except as you give thought to it. You see, now thought is of the creative force. And when you give thought to it, well, then you bring it right into your present, and it sticks with you. But all you need to do is stop thinking about it and release it to God and send God's love into it and turn loose and let go and let God. You've heard this many times, but it is so important that you follow through with it. Accept yourself as you are today. Now, as you do this, as you're at peace within yourself, this tunes you in to the rhythm of life. I cannot begin to explain this fully with your language, but the rhythm of life is a very valuable thing to move into, and it involves God's love, peace of mind, and a feeling of loving yourself and loving life, all of life, and accepting things as they are. As you do this, then you are not concentrating on the problem, but you are giving your thoughts and attention to the answer that is divine love. And you tune in to the rhythm of life, and you flow with the current of life instead of trying to fight against it, because you cannot win when you go against the current of life. You cannot break the divine laws, but you break yourself against the law, and it only hurts you. So when you catch yourself thinking of the past in a negative way, immediately send God's love into it to cancel it out and bring your thoughts to a loving position, and especially about yourself. As you do this, then you understand that everyone is doing the best they can with their past conditioning. Even those dictators who put many people to death, as you think of it, and lose their physical body. This is outworking, my dear ones. And do not be concerned, because there is no death. Life is eternal. You cannot be extinguished. when you understand this fully and clearly, then all of your fears disappear into the nothingness from which they came, because truly there is nothing to fear. If you learn to live in the present, one day at a time, you have had some food today, you have clothes to wear, and I think all of you have a roof to go back to tonight. That is all that you need. When you keep your thoughts in that framework, then and love and send love and feel love about yourself, then you are manifesting God in the physical. And this is your purpose in life, all of you, is to manifest the Father. And you are doing well. Continue to move upward by learning the truth and remembering the truth of life, the eternal truth. Try not to get entangled with the physical too much. Do the things that you're supposed to do in your work, but do it with love, knowing that everything is in its right place, and it is there for a learning on your planet. It is a learning situation, no matter what it appears to be. It is an opportunity for you to learn, for others to learn, and they still have free will to take that opportunity. Do not think ill of them. Try not to judge them or yourself if you are not able to take that opportunity at this time. Try to be at peace, do the best that you can, and continue to love yourself, knowing that you are divine. I feel that this is enough of the lesson tonight, but we can discuss it as much as you like, can go back over it, ask questions, and when you do, this helps to bring more light of understanding, because many words have been thrown at you very rapidly, and maybe you comprehended them and maybe you did not. Maybe you got part of it, and maybe you got just a little. Let us open the floor now for discussion and questions. Feel free to join in, my dear ones, and be a part of this as much as I am. For when you realize that you and I are brothers and sisters, and that we come from the same source, and the same life force feeds all of us, then you need not be concerned, but be yourself, and allow yourself to ask questions if you need, or to discuss certain parts of the class.
I'd like just to say something. For instance, a person is trying to commit suicide. Now, we're all one. And if we're all one, this one of me understands that one of him, and he understands this one of me. Now, couldn't I act as he does and declare that I am a spiritual computer? I'm a spiritual billionaire. I'm a many-faceted prism of God, that the God in me is triumphant and the God in me is victorious. Just that, if I keep going over that all the time for that other person, isn't that allowed? It's not like trying to hypnotize him to get control of him.
Yes, I understand what you're saying, Annabelle. There are fine lines here, and as you are understanding it, it is correct. As the words come out, some may misunderstand it. So we remember now to give everyone free will, but when you see the God within that individual, then you're not interfering. You're just knowing the truth. And it may be accepted by that individual, but it may not.
So that's all right if he doesn't accept it.
Yes. So it is nothing wrong with your knowing the truth about all life and each individual.
I'm not trying to get him to just think like I do, because it can't be done.
Yes. That is
Thank you for
correct.
giving me that information. Because
Yeah.
I kept awake for 4 hours wondering whether I could do that or not.
Yes. As long as you do not infringe on their free will, you just see the God within them.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question.
Yes.
We've been learning not to judge others, and in your lesson you said to, I believe it was divine judgment, use divine judgment,
Righteous judgment.
righteous judgment. Would
Yeah.
you kind of expound on that for me?
Yes. It is similar to what Annabelle spoke of. Righteous means right useness of the law. And the law says that you cannot interfere with others' free will. And when you see them doing this or that you in yourself know that they are going against the current of life instead of with it, then do not condemn them for it. This is what is meant by this. Just know that they are doing the best that they can, and as Annabelle suggested, see the God within them. As you see the God within them, you can help to align them with the truth that they know without interfering with their free will. Does this make sense to you?
Yes, thank you very much.
Yes.
This is a wonderful lesson.
Yes. They are all wonderful when you
You understand them.
understand them, and brings about a greater understanding to you. Are there other questions or comments that you would make this evening?
Yes, I have one.
Yes.
It's in relation to love, the uses of love, and so forth. I had read an article about a young man that had the AIDS virus. As he related in the story, he learned to love himself, and he learned to love the virus. And in loving the virus, he also gave it permission to leave. And he was eventually healed of this. But there's a little conflict here in my mind. How, if you love something that destructive, don't you just invite it to stay on?
That again, there are fine lines. You see, he was loving himself as he is and has been from the past that brought about this condition. And through God's love, all things are possible. All things are possible to those who can believe. And his belief was strong enough to love this condition with the love of God, not the personal love that we think of so much. But you see, the virus is there to teach us lessons, because we have gone against the grain of life and brought about this condition. So he used God's love as gratitude and said, "Thank you, Father, for this condition that is teaching me this lesson." And that is loving the virus, or loving the opportunity to overcome it, and he did. Does this make sense to you?
Yes, I may have to go over it a few times in my mind to grasp it.
It is not giving power to the virus. It is loving the opportunity. When you know the truth, the divine truth, everything that seems to be a trouble and problem is truly an opportunity. And when you can use gratitude, which is very important, to say thank you, Father, and really mean it for this opportunity, then you have the power through divine love to rise above this, because you've given yourself permission to do this. You see, we most times do not give ourselves permission to use this great power that we have within us. We forget that we are co-creators with God and have all the power that God is. So much of the time on your plane, you use it against yourself. But when you remember that if you created this condition, you can uncreate it and recreate it as it truly is. Because you see, all of this conflict, all of this dis-ease is truly illusion anyway. And when the understanding comes through, true understanding, and learning to love yourself and to love the opportunity, then you realize that the illusion does not have to affect you except as you give it the power to affect you. And so the dis-ease, the virus, the illusion went back to the nothingness from which it came.
I see. I understand. Thank you.
Yes. It is true with all disease, all so-called problems, whether they be of the body or the mind or the spirit or of your planet, it is the same. This is a great lesson to learn, that you have the power within you to turn anything around that you have started, that you have created, any condition. You can stop it and turn it around, and through divine love you can understand the truth. And as you know the truth, the Master Teacher said, know the truth, and the truth sets you free. And this is what this individual did. He knew the divine truth about this, that it was not real in the sense of eternity, and he gave it no more power over him, and it had to disappear. It had to go back to where it came from nothingness.
May I ask you something? Are you through with that one?
Yes.
But will you, all of you, help me do straight thinking about this leg? I got a great big bunch here in this leg, and I've had it for since 1942, and I've got to think right. I know that sickness is just like a mirage. It's just like a nightmare, and I wish that you would reinforce my mind with it. Because God, I know God answers. I know He does.
Yes, the God within you. Now, Annabelle, let me remind everyone of the thing that you ask about. We shall see in Annabelle the divine being that she is, and that is all. We need not think of the leg or what it is. We just need to see the God within her and continue to see the answer, which is divine love.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes. So much of the time we are trapped into thinking of the so-called problem, and that just gives it more power.
And we think we're praying right and seeing things right, and we've got a little of that backness hanging on there.
Yes, we're praying amiss and giving power to whatever we want to be free of. Is there any one in the class tonight who would like to ask any questions about this particular thing that we're talking about to bring more light into your understanding? It is subtle to realize how to pray righteous prayer, because we've been programmed to think of the problem, and when we say, God, help me with this leg, then we are talking about the problem. But
Thank you for correcting it.
yes. But when we say, Father, you and I are one, I am whole, I am complete, I am perfect in your being, and I accept this perfection in any and every way, and we see ourselves in our mind with the magic genie, imagination, as whole, complete, and perfect, then do we bring about the correction. Now, there is a catch to this, and the thing is that you may sit down and do just as I've told you, and then an hour later you forget and start thinking about the problem again, and you've canceled out what you have prayed for in a righteous way. Is this understandable?
Yes.
Yes. And if you do this and recognize it and just do it all over again, send love into those erroneous thoughts and pray righteous again. If you have to do it 1,000 times a day, do it 1,000 times a day. There's nothing more important than you understand how to use the divine laws of life. And as we talked about the rhythm of life, when you use the positive, constructive, and loving thoughts, then you move into that rhythm of life. And that rhythm of life is as powerful as God's love, because it is God's love. And you move with the current instead of against it. Are there other thoughts or questions this evening? Donald is concerned about the tape time.
We still have a few minutes.
Mm-hmm. In your movement forward towards your Godhood, should I say the complete knowing of your Godhood, remember that love, divine love, is the key to all things. And when you study and when you send love, when you love yourself, and if you do not know how to begin, read this one book that was mentioned this evening, The Greatest Thing in the World by Henry Drummond, and take the 9 attributes. There are many more attributes of God's love, but take those 9 to begin with. But also practice things like looking in the mirror and saying, God, I love you, knowing that you are God. And that reflection of your physical body is God. All that exists is God. Now you have created your body as it is, but God has given you the permission to do this. So do not look at the imperfections of your body, but look beyond those to the heart and soul of your being that is perfect, whole, and complete. And let that spark of light at the center of your being get brighter and brighter and brighter with your inner image until it shines out from you. And I tell you, whether they are conscious or not, others will see and know it on some level of their being. This is a good practice to just start at any time of the day with that spark of divine light that is God at the center of your being, and with your imagination let it get brighter and brighter. Because, my dear ones, the inner image is your tool to bring about the corrections of the things that you want to correct. It can also work against you, as anything else in life. On your plane, you can use it either way, but you are learning to use it in a loving way only. Do we have other comments or questions this evening? And let us end our class tonight knowing that we have gained with coming together. Even if you have known everything that has been said intellectually, think of God's love and light, taking it into your consciousness to know it with the heart knowing, as some of you call it, knowing it with that part of you that remembers who you are and knows that you are divine. Let us think of this circle of light as getting brighter and brighter, and remember that when you are at home, you can place yourself in this circle. When you come together in this way, my dear ones, your power is multiplied many times as there are individuals here. And so, with your inner image, you can place yourself in this circle if it feels correct to you, and bring about that power as you pray righteously, as you reach for the hand of God and allow Him to draw you to His bosom and to feel His divine love and the beautiful feeling of knowing that you are His child. God bless you, each one, and good evening.
Thank you very much. Who was this? Ella?
Yes.
We've not had anything on rhythm before, have we?
I don't remember having anything on rhythm.
Certainly a lesson that I needed tonight.
It's what I needed too.
Oh, we all needed it.
It's so strange, and I get the title, I think, oh, this is, no, not right. But I write it down, and it comes out. Doesn't matter what the title is. He gets into a lot of different things they get into, more than just a title.
Well,
Shall we stand and hold hands?
oh, wait a second. I gotta get up. I forgot about that.
As we come together in the physical by holding hands, let us remember that we're always all one in God. We are one with all life, and all life is one with us. And we remember this and draw our power from those great beings of light that come to teach us. They are there to help us, and as we're open to them, they can help us to understand anything that we need to understand, whether we're in a group or by ourselves. The understanding is always there. Let us think of this circle of light getting brighter. God's love filling this room, spreading out over this city, covering this planet, and going out to the whole universe.